right, we are here. Round 3? Yeah, I think this is round 3. 1, 2, yeah. Round 3. Now we got What's the Dirt responding to... No. Now we got the company man responding to What the Dirt video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go check it out. This is round 3. Let's see what the company man is going to say to What the Dirt going off on the company man.
And said it's just a more evolved form of what he was doing. That's all it is, right? As far as the fancy editing and all that stuff, right? And just the way that things are being explained. But at the end of the day, he was the first to do it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Which is a pretty crazy accolade.
Yeah.
Justin Hunt is saying it's all happening. Justin Hunt is saying it's all happening.
You see this guy right here? This is What's the Dirt. What's the Dirt is a YouTube channel that blew up as a byproduct of Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Right now, essentially, he's rap's greatest Google snooper, a sometimes unhinged at-home detective whose truest value offering is forcing his myopic perspective on black people engaged in conflict. Damn. He knuckle drags his way down to his cave in Canada where he Google snoops on every girl that hangs out at Drake's house or pocket watches Kendrick Lamar's contributions to his community, and he investigates Whitney's sister, and now he's graduated to counting the number of times Drizzy says nigga.
What do you mean by that?
Now, I called out Dirt in a video.
Bro, you all right? Damn. Oof, I don't think this is going to go too well for What the Dirt. Oof.
I made called What's the Dirt's Awful Drake Theory. It's based on a particular point in his Family Matters snooze fest, where he belches out bullshit expertise on Pyru politics and speculates on Whitney having postpartum depression, weirdly admits to researching Dennis Graham's entire genealogy, which I actually think should be a crime, and offers a theory that Drake says nigga 37 times in Family Matters because he's 37 years old as a means to prove he's been black his entire life.
You know what? Let me do something. You know what? I'm going to put the Meet the Grams in the background. Let me see if I can no, I'm going to edit this and then I'll put it. Yeah, this is like Meet the Grams moment. So let's meet the company man. No, let's meet What the Dirt. Sheesh.
And what's also really clever here is that Drake is 37 years old, and he says the N-word 37 times on this track. And I believe his reasons for doing this is he's basically saying the word for every year that he's been alive to symbolize that he was indeed born black.
What did you say, nigga?
And look, I know this is all about culture and not really about race, but no matter how you spin it, a lot of the themes that Kendrick uses in his own music, Drake's family also went through, and that is his heritage. I went through his dad's entire genealogy. His family's from the Deep South, right? They were indeed in...
Yeah, you are doing some kind of creepy type of investigation. It ain't that serious for you to look up his dad's family, like, to the feds or something?
Slave, they really had it bad, and you can't remove that blood from Drake.
Jesus Christ.
Right, and he called it clever too. Now, in my video, I argued the insanity of that position because it doesn't work for him nor Drake. If Drake really did that, then that's the whitest thing in the world, and 100% supports Kendrick's entire point in this battle. And if Drake didn't do that, and this bum's reaching, then that means What's the Dirt, as part of his research, literally sat in his cave in Canada and counted niggas in an attempt to prove Drake's blackness. Stop it.
I agree with that. Either way you look at it, if Drake actually did that, that's the dumbest thing ever. And if Drake did not do that and you're reaching, that's the dumbest thing ever. That's like saying, oh, look at the video. It stops at 30. This means if you go back and listen to the video, the company man says what the dirt 30 times to reference. He's like, shut up. I couldn't even think of something stupid. Like, some stuff, is a reach, right? That's one thing that, people got to stop. And but when I reach, I ask y'all, hey, I might be reaching. Right, so when you know that you're reaching, just say, hey, I might be reaching for the stars right now, but this is what I think, because I reach sometimes. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with reaching, but let it be known. But don't reach and then act like it's a fact. No, you don't do that. You don't reach for the stars and then act like what you're saying is actual factual. No, just say, hey, look, I might be reaching right here. I know this might sound crazy, but let me explain myself. Do it that way, but don't just come on here and say something wild and crazy and act like it's facts. That's where you fuck up.
Get some help. Now, a number of you who watched my video noticed there was about 10 minutes of black space at the end of the original post. Well, that black space was all the things I liked about Dirt's Family Matters breakdown. Sure, it took me 2 days to get through it because it was laborious and felt like homework, but there were actual nuggets I appreciated. Here's a clip.
But I think I see the reason in why it's so long. When he started talking about how this video was going to be 3 hours or whatever, I think most of us assumed he was just talking about the song itself, but he ends up breaking down Buried Alive freestyle, which was only posted to Drake's Instagram that most people hadn't covered, and that part of the battle was pretty interesting. It's interesting to hear his take on that. And then also, one of the things that he focused on in this breakdown is also things that were happening in the video. And so I can understand the length and detail of this track and why it may be more challenging than the previous editions of his beef analysis. He's got to analyze the visual. And I think he does a really good job of analyzing the visual. He points out a lot of different things that I hadn't considered in the visual. One of the key things he points out in the visual that I just didn't even realize and didn't even think about was that in the Drake Family Matters video, he is crushing the van that was on the cover of Good Kid, Mad City. And I had no clue that actually...
Okay, so yeah, this is him editing his video right here. This is his software. Okay.
Wasn't the van.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I take out the good stuff that I had already recorded before I published the video? What would make me do that? Well, that's because in Dirt's offensive Family Matters video, he decided to include a clip of me saying something positive about his channel without my permission. He didn't reach out. We've never actually talked on the phone or in person. He just did it on his own volition because that's what low-value clout chasers do.
Damn.
I'd argue that. I think What's the Dirt's probably the most exciting new channel in hip-hop right now. I guess sitting in your cave in Canada counting niggas is a lonely endeavor because What's the Dirt is desperate for validation. He's thirsty for it. That's why you'll see him pop into any chat of any streamer who mentions his content. That's why he super chats academics so he can have a public conversation with his idol. And that's why he has 12 black voices clumped at the end of his videos, supposedly co-signing the product of his latest Google snooping endeavor.
The very well video, and he did his thing.
I thought this was masterful. I can tell What's the Dirt analyzes. Not only that, but he listens to a lot of hip-hop.
This is amazing. That breakdown was dope, man. He did a great job, bro.
I'd argue that. I think What's the Dirt's probably the most exciting new channel in hip-hop right now.
Oh, and that guy, What's the Dirt on YouTube? Yeah. I watched a bunch of his videos. He's dope.
Being on YouTube and watching What's the Dirt on the breakdown, I appreciate the Drake record a little more. That shit was fire. He was going to.
Now, I don't know how Curtis King or Moni...
This is Meet the Dirt, all right? I'm gonna put Meet the Gram's background instrumental in the background because this is what it sounds like. Look, What the Dirt, in my opinion, man, listen, you can still redeem yourself. You know, it's not too late. You just got an eye opener. All right, don't get lost in the sauce no more and stop with all that. Don't you ever do a 2 hour and 30. If you do boy, if you ever, I don't care who it is. I don't want to see nobody do a 2 hour and 30-minute video on nobody. I don't care if it's Tupac. I don't care if it's Biggie, Jay-Z. Boy, if you do another 2 hour, 30 minutes, nigga. Woo!
Or Screwface or anybody else feels about him laundering their reputations in a video of him sitting in his cave in Canada counting niggas, but I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all, especially because my video that he clipped my positive comment from was actually critical of how he chose to market his then upcoming Family Matters video. He got caught by the internet trying to say that Kendrick was lying about Whitney from his cave in Canada, but actually got the album wrong and the year of the interview wrong. In his post, he used that evidence as an example of his objectivity because he doesn't know what words mean. He thinks being objective is covering two separate things the same way, even though they're different. The Celtics and the Pistons aren't the same just because both are in the NBA, just like a PlayStation and an Xbox aren't the same, even though both are video game consoles. The good one has Ghost of Tsushima. So my video, which is called What's the Dirt's First Misstep, I talked about the problems with modern media where armchair Google snoopers like What's the Dirt present opinions as fact based on their narrow perspective when actual real lives are at play. I approached it in the fairest way possible, complimenting him on his channel and the anticipation he's built around upcoming releases while offering some perspective that might help him or anyone else avoid jeopardizing their credibility. Throughout my career, when I see an opportunity to help passionate people with promise looking to advance in the field of human endeavor, I do my best to offer perspective. I also compared that specific section to Trap Lord Ross and Academics' Warren Chirac channel, but also stated I didn't believe What's the Dirt was a culture vulture. What's the Dirt wants to be Academics when he grows up, but I can't see that ever happening. Academics.
Hey, I've been saying that, the first time I listened to his Family Matter breakdown, I said, this is Academics. Y'all can go back and y'all can listen to my first reaction of What the Dirt breakdown. I said, this sounds like Academics. Because everything academics was saying, basically he was saying, I'm like, oh man, you don't want to be labeled academics. You do not want to be the academics of breakdown videos. Please don't do that. Please, I'm begging you. For your sake, please don't be the academics of video breakdowns, lyric breakdowns, rap breakdowns. Please don't be the academics of that. Please don't. You gonna hurt yourself doing that.
Where there's a barrage of insults on a daily basis on multiple platforms. What's the Dirt crashes out over criticism delivered with kid gloves.
That is bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. Fuck this guy.
Either way, Dirt missed the message and leveraged my name, image, and likeness to co-sign his culturally offensive video. And I didn't want that to ever happen again. So during the edit, I decided to cut the good stuff out because what's most important is that everyone understands that What's the Dirt counts niggas from his cave in Canada. I'd say that's surprising, but what do you expect from someone who brands himself What's the Dirt? Names are powerful. I named myself the company man because that's how I felt working in investment banking, slaving away for someone else's tax break while writing about rap music on the side, dreaming of the day where I'd have my own company that was centered on my passion. Because I knew the term wasn't flattering in any capacity, I made sure I read and watched anything company man related, so I was prepared to rebuttal anyone who tried to use it against me because they disagreed with my opinions. That moniker connected with...
What the hell are you looking at? You keep looking down. Are you reading a script or something? Is it just me? I'm looking, I'm like, what's he looking down? Did he write this? Did he write this down on like a cue card or something? Shout out to the company man. Just a joke. But why you keep looking down? I'm confused. Maybe he's looking down at his screen or something. Yeah, he's probably looking down at his computer screen, looking at him just to make sure he's in the frame or something. It's just a joke.
Me personally in the aspirational and in the present. What's the Dirt's moniker makes sense too because he specializes in beef. He has 26 videos on his channel and 21 of them are about black people embroiled in conflict. Take a look at this page. You don't see his face. You don't know what he looks like. Who he is secondary to what he's promoting. Of course, there are almost zero white people, just a sea of black faces feuding. Hip hop is a vast aquarium full of all kinds of fish, but Dirt only focuses on the black ones fighting. This is his chosen revenue stream. This is how he chooses to add value. This is how he tickles his own balls.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
But after I challenged his ridiculous theory that Drake says nigga 37 times to prove how long he's been black, Dirt knuckle dragged his way back down to his cave in Canada where he counts niggas, dropped the mask, and went unhinged. Check this out.
Right, so enough of this bullshit. I'm gonna start clapping back at some of these people from YouTube online who are coming with baseless, stupid takes like this guy. But I'm not putting it up on YouTube because I'd only be doing them a favor. Like a lot of these guys don't have a lot of motion. That's like they just don't, right? So I would be helping them if I put it up on YouTube. But what I will do is fire back on Twitter. So that's what we're gonna do. Now keep in mind, this guy in particular, when I was talking about Kendrick and breaking down Kendrick's lyrics, I was a genius. I was brilliant. I was extremely nuanced. His words, right? Funny how now that I'm breaking down Drake, that has all changed, right? Now I don't understand the culture. Now I shouldn't be speaking on certain things.
I'm always shocked when people in the comments, like the analysts, people who interact with the content that I create, the videos I put out, when they say things like, man, I used to watch you in middle school, I watched you in high school. People will tell me all the time, man, when I was in high school, I used to watch you every Saturday. I'm a doctor now.
Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? Anyways. So my question is Justin Hunt stupid or is he just dumb? People watching my content are in between the age of 25 and 44 for the most. 40% 25 to 34. Middle schoolers and high schoolers aren't watching my content. So the whole reason and how you just framed your angle against me was fucking stupid.
There are things that Matt just isn't in the position to properly contextualize. Like What's the Dirt is a really great YouTube channel to me. I think he's from Canada too, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
And so like his approach to it is super nuanced, you know what I mean? And you can tell he puts a lot of heart and passion into it, you know, and I think he does a great job.
Yeah, really.
Drake is half black. The other side of his family uses it. I have a fundamental rebuttal to that.
Just to tell you guys ahead of time, his rebuttal sucks. You guys see what he's trying to do here, right? He's trying to frame it like my content is fucking corrupting the youth or some shit. It's a slime ball snake move is what it is. It's snaky as fuck, slimy as fuck, completely wrong, but that's what he's trying to do.
He gave probably to his mom and said clearly that side of the family used it. My family growing up didn't use the N-word. I made a whole video on my channel. I didn't say the N-word for 20 years.
Bro, I could kind of tell.
I didn't say the N-word for 20 years.
Bro, I could kind of tell.
Damn.
I didn't say the N-word for 20 years.
Bro, I could kind of tell.
Damn.
You see what he's trying to do to me there, right? He's trying to frame it like I believe every black person uses the N-word and every black family uses it. Now, I didn't think I need to put this clip in the fucking video, but this guy obviously doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to this, so Let's look at why I would say that about Drake's family.
And I'm also like, I come from a family in Memphis, Tennessee, where it's like, it's just something we say to each other, you know, and it's like...
I personally don't believe this guy's really that intelligent. I don't. To me, it's clear that he took the best Twitter talking points and regurgitated it into a video. There's also the fact that the last time he made a video about me, it did really well for him. So I see the play. But what he's trying to set up here and the shit he's trying to angle against me is fucking disgusting. It's snaky as fuck. It's disingenuous as fuck. And I don't fucking appreciate it.
This is a great example of get lost in your own hubris.
He said this was a great example of me.
Okay, is he gonna play the whole thing? Okay, let me skip that part because we already played that part. All right, let me go to when he starts talking. All right, here we go.
Me to move with Christ and keep an open mind. My mom, Chantel Hunt, rest in peace, she told me to carry myself with respect, but don't be no punk about my shit. So that's why we're here. But before we move on, let's rebuttal his projection-laden bullshit real quick. Dirt advertised his Family Matters video by saying how easily Kendrick Lamar lied about his relationship with Whitney during a Breakfast Club interview. Yet in this situation, he says we should just believe Drake saying he grew up around black people because that's what he told whatever little kid he's talking to in the clip Dirt just showed. Now, if he had just included that clip in his breakdown, he wouldn't have to defend his position this way. Either way, but this actually means that the guy we've been showering praise on for his research didn't remember that we all watched Drake learn how to say nigga over the course of his career. Does this look like a guy who grew up with people saying nigga in his household?
Be like, yo, that's that nigga, you know what I'm saying? Be like, yo, that's that nigga, you know what I'm saying? Be like, yo, that's that nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Also in that Crash Out video, which is never going away, by the way, he said that I said that he was lost because I assumed that he assumed all black families said the N-word. But I didn't say Dirt was lost. I said Dirt was lost in his own hubris. Hubris means arrogance, excessive confidence. Dirt doesn't appear to know what hubris means, which is why I believe, in my opinion, he ended up arguing some separate points he made up in his head.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Also in this Crash Out video that's never going away, by the way, Dirt showed a clip of me giving him praise during a conversation I had with Friday Ricky Dredd because he continues to sell a low-value narrative that people who don't like his Family Matters snooze fest must hate Drake. The only problem is he had to write when covering Kendrick on the screen because I never said the word Kendrick in that part of the conversation.
So that was a lie.
I actually love his Kid Rock video, which he made way back before he started counting niggas from his cave in Canada. A third point from that Crash Out video that's never going away. Dirt really thought he cooked when he pulled up his analytics to prove me wrong when I said I was certain. I said it with my full chest that most of his audience is in middle school and high school. I was wrong about that. I was categorically incorrect per his receipts. And that's easy for me to say because I'm a fully functioning adult who doesn't cripple under professional criticism.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
But away from the fact that more than one pair of eyes can watch a screen at the same time, or how parents let their kids watch things on their iPads to keep them busy, or how young people often make fake accounts with fake ages for more mature access, I was shocked. It felt like the majority of our audience at Hip Hop DX were young people because our analytics said the same thing too. They said the same thing as Dirt. I was trying to send the message that having an audience, any audience, especially a large audience, is a responsibility. He processed that as me saying that he's corrupting children, which I firmly don't believe. And if I did believe it, best believe, I would have made that point loud and clear. But Dirt is so lost in his own hubris that he can't admit that it's his fault. His fault that his most recent piece of work doesn't hit the same as his previous releases. And he's running around playing the victim in everybody's comment section. People told him...
That is big facts, man. That last video, it's just not it. Too much reaching, too long, too much filibustering, too much of nothing. 2 hours and 30 minutes. Golly.
Weeks ago that 3 hours was way too much for Family Matters.
Facts.
He was so filled with excessive self-confidence, which is what hubris means, Dirt, that he didn't seem to consider that he probably would have had more success if he just split the Buried Alive Part 2 portion of the conversation into a separate video, which might have had a similar effect as his 616 in LA video, since neither of those songs are available on streaming, so it would have been fresh discovery for people not following this every day on YouTube. He didn't do that. He thought he could pull an FD signifier. He's not FD signifier.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
And most egregiously, the guy who has a reputation for spending all year calculating brain-exploding nuggets of new information like the tow truck company that shipped the van that really wasn't the van on the cover of Good Kid, Mad City cover, or meticulously clocking Dennis Graham's DNA, Google snooping his way to YouTube fame off the power of rap's greatest rap battle, still doesn't seem to comprehend what's really going on. I don't know how under any circumstances that after watching the Shakespearean Shakedown, Kendrick laid on Drake's 100 gig head top, and the cultural response to Drake saying he's rapping like he's trying to get the slaves freed, Dirt thought that he was the best voice to reveal brand new information that Drake said nigga 37 times to symbolize how long Drake has been black. How can a person peer into the nuances of this battle for so long and still not be able to shield himself from the predictable backlash to a white guy sitting in his cave in Canada and counting niggas? That's why I say Dirt is lost in his own hubris, because to me, that's the most logical justification. I mean, think about this. Dirt has spent months breaking down Family Matters and fell into the exact same traps as Drake. He says this video is going to age well in the future. I think he's predicating that on the allegations part that Drake has levied at Kendrick and Whitney. He has to remember, this video still has him sitting in his cave counting niggas. But now that you mention it, Dirt, you are actually lost though, not in your soul or spirit or as a person or as a YouTuber. You still have a promising career, I'm sure. No, lost like that popular 2000s TV series about the people who crash landed on that deserted island. It started off fire, but in the end turned out to be a confused mess no one respected.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I'll be honest, if I was a Drake fan, if I was Team Drizzy, if I was one of these Team Drizzy people showing up in my personal Twitter account after all this stuff been blowing up the last 2 days online, telling me that I'm biased because I don't cover Drake the same way that I cover Kendrick, well, again, the Celtics aren't the same as the Pistons, so I'm not going to cover them the same. I have biases, and I'm willing to lean into them. There are certain things I'm clearly biased about, and the stuff that came out in this battle, from a culture standpoint, top of the list, dog. Top of the list. I'm sorry. I just see it a different way. I'm a different person than you. It's all good. But I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed if I was one of y'all who really love Drake. I would be pissed as hell at What the Dirt. What's the Dirt in his 616 in LA breakdown, I'd argue, did more to effectively spread all those uncomfortable, unfortunate narratives against Drake than almost any other YouTuber. And now he soiled his Family Matters video so badly that people are debating whether Drake is counting niggas to prove his blackness. No matter how you slice it, that's malpractice.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
And that's why I decided to cut out the good parts from my Dirt's Awful Drake Theory video, because in 10 or 15 years, when kids today, middle schoolers and high schoolers today, wherever they are, when they grow up and they look back at this battle and they want to see what's going on, there needs to be at least one other video letting them know that counting niggas was not a part of hip-hop in 2024, nor something to look for in rap songs. I need them to know that that was some dumb shit, some arrogant douchebag sitting in a cave and...
All right, we gonna stop it right there. If y'all want to see the full video, go watch The Company Man. Go watch. I'm gonna stop it right there. I don't want to play the whole thing because it's like another 10 minutes. But basically, this is what the dirt. Meet the dirt. All right. Y'all leave a comment down below. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this, and then What the Dirt apologize. So that's the next video. So I'm going in order in how this how this happened. So this is The Company Man's response to What the Dirt responding to The Company Man. Yeah. So other than that, look, What the Dirt. This is just a teachable moment. Don't ever do a 2 hour and 30-minute video on nobody ever again, please. We don't want to see 2 hours and 30 minutes no more. Stop.